Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
Fans around the world still mourning the sudden loss of Kobe Bryant.
We all grew up, we all felt like we knew Kobe.
The basketball legend, his teenage daughter, and 7 others killed in a helicopter crash while flying in poor weather conditions. And as fans grapple with the tragedy, new clues are emerging about what happened shortly before the crash. The NTSB just wrapped up a briefing with the latest on its investigation into yesterday's crash. Good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson.
And I'm Lindsay Pena. Here's what we know so far. 3 of the 9 bodies have been recovered from the crash site. The helicopter did not have a black box on board. It is not required on that type of aircraft. The NTSB is asking the public to email them photos of the weather in that area. And the NBA has decided to postpone tomorrow night's Lakers game against the Clippers. We have team coverage of this story. We begin with ABC's Elena Gomez, who is live in Los Angeles.
Steve and Lindsay, fans have been paying their respects for Kobe Bryant here at the Staples Center, his home for many years as a Laker. Fans have been coming out, dropping flowers, others just stopping and having a moment of reflection. Today, Kobe Bryant is being remembered by fans.
It's painful. We really lost somebody legendary today.
And friends as a man respected well beyond the game.
His evolution as a husband and as a father and as a man that wanted to impact the community beyond basketball.
Meanwhile, investigators are working to figure out what caused the helicopter crash, killing Kobe Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter, and 7 others on board. Matt Mauser heartbroken over the loss of his wife, Christina, also on board that helicopter.
She could really read people, and she was deep. She was very warm, kind.
The group was headed to Bryant's daughter Gianna's basketball game, leaving Orange County just after 9 in the morning. It was expected to be a quick trip, but around 9:45, the helicopter crashed in Calabasas, just north of Los Angeles.
Visibility 2.5 miles with haze, ceiling 1,100 overcast, temperature 122.8.
Fog was so heavy that Los Angeles police grounded their helicopters. Officials say it's still unclear if the weather played a role in this crash. Today, the reality setting in, the shock lingering, fans remembering Bryant's drive and the way he inspired people across the country.
If you just love basketball and respected hard work and someone that had drive, then you loved Kobe.
As you mentioned, the NTSB did have that press conference today, releasing some new information about their investigation. This investigation will hopefully release more information about what caused that crash. In Los Angeles, Elena Gomez, 10 News. Steve,
Elena, that is quite a scene that you have there behind you. It only seems like that memorial just continues to grow.
It has. We've been here early this morning and it has been nonstop. There have been dozens and dozens, if not hundreds and hundreds of people that have been pouring in here to pay their respects. Flowers, candles, photos, old jerseys. People really having a moment of this loss to this community.
Quite it is. Elena Gomez, thank you so much from Los Angeles.
Meanwhile, a memorial is also growing outside the Mamba Sports Academy in Thousand Oaks. People have been stopping by all day to pay their respects while leaving a number of items, including jerseys, flowers, candles, and even balloons. The Mamba Sports Academy operates 5 basketball courts and many other sports facilities for young athletes. And one way fans are coping with this unexpected tragedy is by reaching out on Sports Talk Radio.
Our sports director, Ben Higgins, was on the airways for hours this morning on 97.3 The Fan. Ben, you talked with a lot of people that really just wanted to share their loss here today.
I was on the air when Tony Gwynn passed away and Virginia Sal's tragic death, and it felt a little bit like those moments, except this pain extends far beyond the boundaries of San Diego. We even heard stories from Boston, where Kobe Bryant would normally be the city's #1 enemy.
Kobe kept hitting shot after shot, dunk after dunk. Long story short, he had 18,000 New Englanders chanting his name that night for his annual trip to the Garden.
My co-host Stephen Woods and I took phone calls throughout the morning. Lots of people talking about what made Kobe Bryant such a great and memorable player and how sad they were for his family and all the other families affected by the helicopter crash. We were also joined in studio by Jelani McCoy, former St. Augustine High School star, met Kobe Bryant at UCLA and later played with him for a season on the Lakers. He roomed next to Kobe on road trips and says basketball was only a small part of what made Bryant special.
Basketball was just something, a color that he chose to paint with on his canvas. There's so much more, like you said, about life that just being around him. You want it to be better. You want it to get 1% better immediately after you sat and talked with him for like 5 minutes.
Well, Jelani told us he didn't believe the news when he first heard it yesterday and then cried all day after it was confirmed. Not so different from many of those fans on the phones that we're hearing from.
I think we all kind of felt that when we first heard it.
Absolutely.
This can't be possible, not Kobe.
No, such a tough day.
Thank you, Ben.
As fans from around the world continue to mourn the loss of the basketball legend Kobe Bryant, one San Diego superfan says he is now in disbelief, but is now cherishing the moments he was able to interact with Kobe Bryant.
10 News reporter Nate Holmes spoke to that fan and an expert who says grieving for the star is a normal reaction for many.
Magazines, figurines, and jerseys.
This is rookie jerseys.
Superfan Willie Gloria says he's been a Kobe Bryant fan since the player was drafted to the Lakers.
What I remembered is the happiness that he brought in my life.
Gloria remembers the first time he met Bryant at an exhibition game in San Diego during his rookie years.
I was the first person he saw because I was the first one there. He gave me a handshake, and my cousin was able to take a photo of Kobe Bryant with a box camera.
This past September, Gloria and his family met Bryant at his book signing in Newport Beach.
I told him that I named my son after him, and he was like, "Oh man, that's beautiful."
After the signing, the two shared a moment as proud dads.
Wanted to make sure that it was his duty as a dad, him having 4 girls, is to make sure that women succeed and have opportunities.
Gloria says it hasn't fully hit him that Bryant is gone. Bradley Bond, associate professor at USD, studies parasocial relationships, the idea that people develop emotional ties to celebrities and media characters.
Perfectly normal feeling, because part of human survival is being attached to other people.
Bond says those ties seem to grow stronger with social media.
Get those little blips on social media of their family, of their experiences, of him coaching his daughter's basketball team. You really start to feel like you know that person.
For Gloria, there's only one word to describe his favorite player.
Amazing. Definitely amazing.
Nate Holmes, 10 News.
Gloria says he can't wait to share his memories with his sons and show them how great that Bryant was on and off the court. And our coverage of the deadly helicopter crash will continue throughout the hour and on 10news.com. There you can find a timeline of events, information on the helicopter involved, and more on Kobe's legacy. Just go to 10news.com.
All right, now to a health alert. The U.S. economy is now being impacted by the coronavirus outbreak from China. Today, U.S. stocks fell sharply over investor concerns. The Dow Jones fell 453 points, the Nasdaq lost 175, and the S&P, it dropped 51. This comes as the number of cases worldwide continues to grow. Our 10 News reporter John Horn is joining us on this story. And John, the health department is now monitoring one potential case here in San Diego.
Steve, that's correct, and Public Health Officer Wilma Wooten confirmed that very fact today. She said there's one person in the hospital undergoing tests. Those tests have been sent to the CDC. We expect the results tomorrow. Meanwhile, from UCSD up in La Jolla to here at the CBX just across from the Tijuana airport, the officials are taking this virus seriously. County officials confirming Monday there is a potential case of the coronavirus in our region. Dr. Wilma Wooten made the announcement at a news conference outside Health and Human Services about the virus, which originated in the Wuhan province of China.
We would really hone in on where has that person traveled in San Diego. We know where they've traveled from Wuhan.
Wooten declined to say which hospital the person is in or release any details about their age or gender. The CDC has already tested for 110 potential cases of this new version of the coronavirus in the U.S., confirming 5, including a person in Orange County.
They're very close, so it's a matter of not if, but when.
The virus presents itself with symptoms such as fever, cough, and difficulty breathing. Wooten says it can lead to pneumonia. In China, 80 people have died.
Wash your hands frequently and properly. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or your mouth after you've been touching items in the community.
Wooten says if you haven't traveled to China or been in contact with anyone who has, then your risk is low. Still, she says the county is in contact with UCSD, which has more than 5,600 students from China. And here at the Cross-Border Express, workers were wearing masks as a flight from Beijing arrived Monday afternoon. Again, no confirmed cases in San Diego. Many in the family of coronaviruses present themselves as the common cold. And again, if you haven't been in contact with anyone from China or traveled there recently, your risk is again quite low. But at 7 o'clock, we'll look into more what they did here and tell you about what happened when a flight from Beijing arrived right over just across that way. For now, live in Otay Mesa, John Horn, 10 News.
Thank you, John. Meanwhile, Democrats are ramping up the call for new witnesses and documents in President Trump's impeachment trial. This comes after newly reported revelations from John Bolton appeared to undermine the president's case. ABC's Monica Sarabdi is on Capitol Hill with the arguments Trump's defense team is making.
Now hear you.
From the Senate floor, President Trump's impeachment lawyers delivered their opening arguments for a second day. Attorney Jay Sekulow reiterating President Trump's previous claims that Trump was acting in the interests of the United States when he made that now infamous July 25th phone call asking Ukraine's leader for a favor.
The president was at all time acting under his constitutional authority.
But as their legal defense proceeds, questions swirl on Capitol Hill about new accusations reportedly made by former National Security Advisor John Bolton in his unpublished manuscript, which appears to contradict the president's arguments. According to the New York Times, Bolton, in a manuscript for his upcoming book, writes that Trump told him in August of 2019 that he wanted to continue withholding military aid to Ukraine until officials there launched investigations into the Democrats and the Bidens.
We deal with transcript evidence, publicly available information. We do not deal with speculation, allegations.
Democrats pointing to that report to back their demands for Bolton to testify.
The senators should not turn away from this very relevant evidence.
And now several Republicans also stating they too would like to hear from Bolton, including Maine's Susan Collins and Utah's Mitt Romney.
It's pretty fair to say that John Bolton has a relevant testimony to provide to those of us who are sitting in impartial justice.
Even Trump ally Republican Senator Lindsey Graham stated today he hasn't ruled out the possibility.
If the Senate needs to secure testimony from John Bolton, then I will say so if I think that's necessary for fairness.
Graham added that calling for Bolton to testify would mean witnesses requested by the president would also be called. The president told reporters that he hasn't seen the manuscript but dismissed the reported allegations as false. Monica Sarabdi, ABC News, Capitol Hill.